Hello learners, welcome back to my channel Maths Made Easy with AB. So we are continuing with the series of functions, and in this we have seen what is functions, we have understood the basic definition. In the last video we have solved some numerical problems, and today we will be continuing solving some of the important problems relating to functions, basically greatest integer functions, least integer functions, fractional part of x. So these are the important functions of whose numericals we are solving so that your concept becomes clear. If you have not seen the earlier videos, I'll request you to check them out and then come back to this video for better clarity. So basically we have already done series of quadratic, play with graphs. If you have not watched those series, it will be a great request, a great help for you all actually. If you go through play with graphs, if you go through functions, quadratic equations, so that these all can become a foundation for the most important chapter that comes in JEE Main and Advanced, that is calculus. So questions are asked from these as well. So now getting back to the question that has been asked over here. So solve x cube minus greatest integer function of x is equal to 4, where this is GIF or greatest integer function. Right? This is not a normal bracket that has been given over here. This is the greatest integer function. So how will you solve this problem? So simply, if you are perfect in graph, students, again I am just saying that if you have not seen my series play with graph, first watch this series that is going, go to my playlist and you will get this entire series play with graphs, where I have taught you how to draw important graphs, straight line, circle, ellipse, hyperbola, parabola, and some important functions like greatest integer function, fractional part of x, least integer function, modulus function. So everything, and even the transformation of graph I have taught over there with various numerical examples. And then maybe you can come back after learning all these, you can come back and solve this problem in few simple steps, right students? So now let us get into the problem. I will give this in description so you can check out the link there itself. So I'll take graphical approach. I will take graphical approach to solve this problem. Yeah, I think that will be the best way out to solve this problem. Now see students, I'm erasing this part. So what you have is, so let me expand this. So let me erase everything so that I can get a greater space to solve this problem. So the question is x cube minus greatest integer function x is equal to 4, students. Can I write this? Can I write this as x cube minus 4 is equal to greatest integer function x? Can I write this as this? Right? Now I have already told you, if you get two functions and solution is being asked, what you will have to do is, you will have to sketch this part, that is y is equal to x cube minus 4, the left hand side LHS part, and you will have to solve out this part, that is y is equal to fractional part of x. So this graph you will have to draw, you will have to draw this graph, and will have to check at how many points or at what points they are intersecting. That will give you the solution of x. Very simple approach. Now students, what is the graph of y is equal to x cube? So I will draw the graph of y is equal to x cube first. So students, just see, this is the graph of y is equal to x cube. This is the y axis, this is the x axis. You have already seen this is the origin. I'm not writing. So this is the graph of y is equal to x cube. It is basically lying in the first and the third quadrant. Right students? I think this is very clear to you all. Y is equal to x cube. Y is equal to x square is a parabola. That graph is like this. Y is equal to x is like this. Y is equal to x to the power of 4 will also be like this. I'm not going into that. That will be taken care in play with graph series. So y is equal to x cube is this. Now students, you have been asked y is equal to x cube minus 4. So now let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. Here transformation comes into the picture. So y is equal to fx is x cube. You are being asked to draw y is equal to fx minus c. Right students, you have been asked to draw y is equal to fx minus c. That is what? X cube minus 4, where c is 4. Right students, so we have already seen the transformation of y is equal to fx. We have already seen the transformation of y is equal to fx to y is equal to fx minus c. We have seen this in transformation series, transformation of graph series. Students, see how I am applying what we learnt in play with graph transformation. I taught you how to do this. So basically what happens in this case is the graph shifts along the y-axis downwards when it is minus and upwards when it is positive. Downwards when it is negative, so basically this graph will shift. How many units? 4 units. So basically this graph will become somewhat like this. This graph will become somewhat like this. So this part will be 4. So basically 4 units. So this is not a straight line. The same thing parallelly. It will be just so somewhat like this it will come. Yeah, so I'll draw this again. So basically it's somewhat like this. So this entire part parallelly will be pushed by 4 units downward towards the y-axis, negative y-axis. So this is the transformation, and see students how we are using transformation over here in functions chapter. Yeah, so this is why students I am teaching you solved examples so that you have clarity of thoughts. How play with graph is related to function, and then combined function and play with graph combined we will move into limits, differentiation, application of limits, differentiation, integration and all those. Yeah, if you are enjoying my videos students, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and also circulate it to your friends who are in need, who wants to know more about this. And let me tell you, all the series, all the videos that will come up will be completely free. Yeah, so now let's draw the graph. So you already saw the transformation students. If you have not seen, please go to the transformation. I am not elaborating it right over here because our agenda is not to do that in this video. So this was the origin, right? X-axis and negative x-axis. So y is equal to x cube was this, and what you will have to get is, students, what you will have to get is somewhat like this. So this point is how much? 0 comma minus 4. Students, very much clear to you. 0 comma minus 4. Yeah, this is the graph of, this is the graph that you're seeing on the board is of y is equal to x cube minus 4. Y is equal to x cube minus 4. I think this much it's clear to you all. Now what? Next what? You will have to draw the graph of which? You have already drawn y is equal to x cube minus 4. Now the graph of y is equal to fractional part of x. Very easy. Y is equal to fractional part of x. So what will be these points? You will have to get, if you can easily find out. So x cube minus 4, this one will be 0, right? This one will be somewhat over 0. X cube minus 4 is equal to 0 if you put. So this is x-axis, right? At x-axis y is 0. So x cube minus 4 is 0. So x cube is equal to what? 4. X is equal to 4 to the power of 1 by 3. This value is what? It will lie something in between how much? 1 and 2. This value will lie in between. So basically this will be 1 and this will be 2. This value will be lying in between 1 and 2. 4 to the power of 1 by 3. Students, I think this is clear to you all. Yeah. So I'm not going into this. This is basic algebraic evaluation. So 1 and 2. Students, now understand one thing. Let me erase out some part. You will have to draw the graph of y is equal to fraction, y is equal to greatest integer function x. So I am drawing it right over here with a red pen so that it gives you clarity. This is not included. This is the graph, right students? Then what? Then what is the graph from 1 to 2? So let me draw the graph somewhat like this so that it is clear to you all. Since it is going to 2, yeah, something like this it is. Yeah. So for more perfection, so this is the point, right students? So I think this part is making sense to you all. This is 3 and so on and so forth. This is 4. Similarly, this part will be giving you 1. This is not cutting this, yeah. This is 2. This is dotted line just to mark on the axis. This is 3. So on and so forth. Clear students? You are getting this point, right? I think this is clear to you all. If you haven't followed till now, I'll just say that rewind the video a bit and see what we did, basically we drew the graph of y is equal to x cube at first, y is equal to x cube at first, and then we drew the graph of y is equal to x cube minus 4, y is equal to x cube minus 4, right? And then we did what? We are now drawing the graph of y is equal to fractional part of x and seeing at what points both of these are intersecting. Right, students? So now let us understand. So basically, to find the solution, we have to draw the graph of y is equal to x cube minus 4 and y is equal to greatest integer function of x and find the intersecting point. From the graph, you can see that it is clear the root lies in between the interval what? Root lies in between the interval of 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Right, students? Right or not? So here you see that this is the graph of y is equal to x cube minus 4 and it is intersecting this graph, means y is equal to greatest integer function at this point. Students, what is this line? This line is y is equal to 1, right? This line is y is equal to 1. So basically x cube minus 4 equal to 1 you will have to find out to find this point. Is it right, students? That is x cube minus 4 is equal to 1. Or you can also say that x cube minus 4 is equal to greatest integer function of x. X lies in between 1 and 2. So what will be greatest integer function of x? This will be what? 1. So x cube minus 4 is equal to 1 to solve this. X cube is basically what? 5. So x is equal to 5 to the power of 1 by 3. X is equal to 5 to the power of 1 by 3. Students, this will be the answer of the question. X, value of x from x cube minus greatest integer function x is equal to 4. Students, I'll repeat this part for those who didn't follow here. So we drew the graph of y is equal to x cube, y is equal to x cube minus 4 using transformation and then greatest integer function. We saw that y is equal to x cube minus 4 is cutting this line over here. It's very simple using graph we saw, and we know that this line is y is equal to 1. So if I solve y is equal to 1 with y is equal to x cube minus 4, we will get the value of x. So this equal 1, right? Y is equal to 1. So x cube is equal to 5, x is equal to 5 to the power of 1 by 3. This is the answer. Now understand that y. So if we would have not taken y is equal to 1, take it in a different way. We were solving x cube minus 4 is equal to greatest integer function of x. X is lying in between, x was lying in between 1 and 2. So what is the greatest integer function of this? This is 1 if x lies between 1 and 2. So this would have been 1. So x cube minus 4 is equal to 1. Anyway, so both ways. You could see the concept both ways. So students, I think this question is clear to you all. If you have doubt, you can go to the comment section and ask. I'll try to solve it over there itself. Yeah. So I think this question was clear to you all. Let us see another important question involving greatest integer function. Also, let's take least integer function because I think we haven't done much on least integer function. So for those who are thinking that least integer function is already a definition, we know only a definition. So let's solve one problem relating to least integer functions. So the question is, find the value of x. Solve. The question is, solve for x. 2 greatest integer function x, 2 into greatest integer function x plus least integer function x is equal to 10. Least integer function x is equal to 10. So this is the question. Students, let me just recap what we know about greatest integer function. If this is I and this is I plus 1, if a value lies in between I and I plus 1, basically I can be 4, then I plus 1 will be 5. So basically if a value lies between 4 and 5, greatest integer function will give you this value. Greatest integer function will give you this value. Least integer function, LIF. So GIF will give you the value of I, and LIF, least integer function, will give you the value of I plus 1, which in case is 4 and in case is 5, right? If x lies in between this, if x is an integer, then GIF will also be I, LIF will also be I, same value, right? We need not move ahead, so it will not go to I plus 1, right students? It will not go to I plus 4. So this is not actually I plus, I shouldn't write it this way, but I am saying that this attains this value. Correct, students? So using this principle, so basically if greatest integer function of x would have been asked, the answer would have been 4. Least integer function of x would have been 5. Yeah, so this is the basic concept of least integer function, greatest integer function. We have already seen that in function chapter and also in play with graphs. So now how do we solve this problem? How do we solve this problem, students? If you are thinking, pause this video, think first and then you see the solution. Say for example, I am assuming when x is an integer, I am saying say x is an integer. So if x is an integer, so this part will give you what? Integer. This will remain integer. If x is an integer, greatest integer function will give you an integer. You can remove the greatest integer function bracket. And students, just now, just few minutes back, few seconds back, we saw what? Least integer function will also give you what? I, integer. If x is integer, least integer, greatest integer function, both will give you integer. So 3 integer is equal to 10. Integer is 10 by 3. Is it possible? Can an integer value be 3.33? No. Can an integer value be 3.33? No, it is not true. This is not true. It means what? X cannot be an integer. It means what? X cannot be an integer. So if x is not an integer, next what? Next what? If x is not an integer, it means what? X will lie in between I and I plus 1. It means what? X will lie in between this. So basically when I'll take the second case, when x lies in between I plus 1 and I, it cannot be I, it cannot be I plus 1, we just saw. So it is lying in between I and I plus 1. I will not take this because this is not true, we just saw. This is also not true, we just saw, right? Because it cannot take any integer value. So when I is in between, so I told you, so what will be this? X is in between this. So greatest integer function will give you this value, least integer function will give you this value. So how can I write 2 into greatest integer function will give you I, and what will least integer function value give you? I plus 1 is equal to what? 10, students. 3i is equal to 9, I is equal to 3. Oh, this is very much possible. This is very much possible. So students, the value of I is 3. So what? What is the answer of this question? The answer of this question is x lies in between 3 and 4. X lies in between 3 and 4 will be the answer of this question. This is x. Let me take a value 3.14. Say for example, x is 3.14. So if x is 3.14, x is 3.14. What will greatest integer function be? 3. Least integer function be 4. So 2 into 3 plus least integer function of x will be 4. 6 plus 4, 10. Yeah, correct? Yeah, so this is true. Answer is x lies in between 3 and 4. Students, I think this concept is very much clear to you all. If you have any doubt, go to the comment section and post it. If you like the video, do subscribe to our channel. Students, it's high time. Till now, if you have watched all my series and you're watching all the videos, take some good textbook of mathematics of JEE main or advanced and try solving those. If you face any difficulty from any textbook, you can just post it in the comment section and I will try solving it in my next videos. Thank you all for watching this video. Have a great day.